The old Ferris wheel stood like a skeletal giant against the blood-red sunset, its rusting joints creaking faintly in the evening breeze. Ellie pulled her jacket tighter around her as she approached the entrance gate to the abandoned carnival. Its once vibrant sign now faded and sagging, "Welcome to Wonderland Park." For decades, Wonderland had been the heart of the town, a place of laughter and magic. Then came the accident. Nobody talked about it anymore, but whispers spoke of faulty rides, a terrible storm, and vanished children. The park had been closed ever since. Tonight, Ellie was here on a dare. Her friends had jeered and goaded her, promising she wouldn't last an hour inside the rotting park. Now, alone under the gathering darkness, she regretted every choice that had brought her here, but she wouldn't let them call her a coward. The gate squealed loudly as she pushed it open. Inside, the air seemed different, stale, suffocating. The shadows of dilapidated attractions stretched long and menacing, twisting the familiar into something sinister. A faint melody drifted through the air, tinny and warped. Ellie froze. It was the park's old theme song. "That's impossible," she muttered. No electricity had run here in years. Her flashlight flickered as she moved deeper into the park. The carousel loomed ahead, its horses frozen mid-gallop. One of them had no head. She felt eyes on her, though the place was empty. Wasn't it? A laugh rang out. Ellie spun around. It was a child's laugh, high and gleeful, but somehow wrong. It came from the Hall of Mirrors. Its facade was shattered, and its entrance was a yawning black maw. "Hello," Ellie called, her voice trembling. No response, just that mocking giggle again, beckoning her forward. She stepped inside, and the air grew cold. Her flashlight's beam reflected 1,000 times in the cracked mirrors, each reflection showing her pale, wide-eyed face. She took a step, then another, the sound of her boots unnervingly loud. In one mirror, her reflection didn't follow. Ellie's breath hitched. The mirrored version of herself stared back with a twisted grin, its eyes sunken and black. Slowly, it raised a hand and pointed to something behind her. She turned, heart hammering. Nothing. When she looked back at the mirror, the reflection was gone. She bolted out of the Hall of Mirrors, her mind racing. She needed to leave now. As she passed the bumper cars, she heard scraping metal on metal. One of the cars lurched, its headlights flaring to life, though the bulbs were cracked and dead. It roared forward, slamming into another car, then another, and another, until the entire ride was alive with chaos, cars smashing into each other as if trying to break free. A low growl came from behind her. She turned and screamed. The mascot. It had been the park's beloved symbol, a giant, grinning rabbit named Bucky. But now its costume was filthy and torn, its empty eye holes staring at her. Slowly, it tilted its head, as though studying her. Then it started walking. Ellie ran. She didn't stop until she reached the Ferris wheel. Its gondolas were swaying wildly, though there was no wind. A sharp, metallic groan filled the air as the wheel creaked to life, spinning faster and faster. And then, one by one, the gondolas began to fall, crashing to the ground with deafening booms. Ellie stumbled back, and her foot caught on something. She fell hard. When she looked up, the mascot was there, looming over her. "I just wanted to have fun," it whispered in a guttural voice that sounded like grinding gears. Ellie screamed as its gloved hands reached for her throat. The next morning, her friends found her phone at the park's entrance. The footage on it was shaky and chaotic, but the last frame was clear. The grinning face of Bucky, staring into the camera.